Starlight here, and welcome to another video. Today we'll be breaking down a mono fairy type team, but before we start, please consider hitting the subscribe button. We are so close to 50 subscribers, and really appreciate if we could get there. And without further ado, let's get on with the breakdown. But before we get started as well, just one more thing. It's just crazy how good the fairy type is in general. Obviously, fairy types was introduced to counter dragon types because back in Generation 5 and below, dragon types were so offensively good, barely could switch out into anything apart from some couple of good steel types. But yeah, very strong dragonware offensively. Definitely the most popular type before Gen 6, and when fairy types got introduced, they turned out to be probably the most broken type, which is kind of ironic. But yeah, so I'm really expecting a lot of great things from this team. So let's get on with one of the reasons why the fairy type is so busted is because of its weaknesses, being poison and steel. Now, why is this so good for fairy types in general? Just for any type in general, because poison, you don't really see that much anymore. Normally poison types are more aimed to be defensive than offensive, the same with the steel type. So now you got two types that are primarily defensive, and yeah, they got to try to fill an offensive role. It's why fairy types are so good. One of the many reasons why fairy types are so good. So with all that said, let's introduce our first member, being Amy, our Tinkaton. Now Amy helps with both weaknesses, being a fairy and steel type. Personally, I think the best typing in the game. Just the steel provides so much defensive utility. Same with the fairy type, them combined makes it such a potent threat, and also being part fairy type, I mean, it does really have some good offensive pressure too, which is fantastic. And the aim of Amy here is to be our very special defensive mom, with the nice set here of being fully special defensive with 252 HP, full attack, 252 special defense, with the air balloon, so we can just be immune to ground type moves for until they attack us, with a nice careful nature, and again pickpocket. The reason why pickpocket is because when they pop our air balloon, we can potentially steal one of their items, which could really help Amy either take leftovers, or potentially take a rocky helmet, or maybe even life orb or anything like that, just to really get rid of some pressure from the opponent. And with the moveset here being Gigaton Hammer, Knockoff, Thunder Wave, and Ice Hammer. Terra type being ground because with the rest of the team, we have two weaknesses, two Pokemon that are weak to electric with no resistances. So we're really relying on the Terra to deal with electric types. So that's why I went with ground Terra here. But overall, Amy, I cannot wait to use. Tinkaton overall is one of my favorite Gen 9 Pokemon. I love its design. I cannot wait to see how she will perform. And now let's get into our next member, being Dapper, the Galarian Weezing, and this is going to be a mainly defensive mon, and also does help with the nice poison type as well, because it's also part poison. And that base 120 defense I'm really hoping to utilize with the nice standard set here of a nice defensive set with 252 HP, 252 defense, 4 special attack, nice bold nature, levitate, really crucial here to again be immune to ground type moves. So when Amy does lose the air balloon, we still have a very reliable mon to go into ground types with a nice rocky helmet as well, just to add that extra chip damage in, could really come in handy. With the moves Strange Steam, Defog, Will-O-Wisp, and Pain Split, and the Terra type being water. The reason why I went for a water Terra because just like last week with our Monoghost team, Trick or Miss, we will have a Kingambit weakness, and Dapper King is the water type to resist the steel type move, potentially go for some Will-O-Wisps, can go for Pain Splits, and go for Strange Steam, plus with the Rocky Helmet gradually chipping in too. Can really help us against Kingambit, and that's what we're really hoping for. I cannot wait to use Dapper, and cannot wait to see how great defensive mon this can potentially be. And as for our next member, I still wanted a very bulky one to deal with steel types. So that's why we went with Marina the Primarina. Now, Marina here is going to be a bulky breaker with that amazing 126 special attack and that amazing special defense of 116, which we'll be utilizing with the nice assault vest item. With 80 HP, 252 special attack, 176 speed with a nice modern nature. Now the reason why we went with so much speed is so we can outspeed an adamant Kingambit. Again, very worried about Kingambit, and be able to outspeed that mon and potentially get 2 KOs with 2 saves will be absolutely fantastic. And another reason why we went for 80 HP is so Marina can survive a Thunderbolt, boosted special attack, boosted energy special attack Raging Bolt, and then we can potentially KO it with a Moonblast, which will be fantastic. With the moves here being Surf, Moonblast, Flip Turn, Psychic Noise, and Teletype being Glass. The reason why I chose Glass Tele again is to really resist, really resist electric types with it. And also it's just a great defensive typing on water types in general. So I cannot wait to use Marina. An awesome one, has also given us trouble in the past with a couple of our teams as well. So I'm so glad we finally get to use one ourselves. And now time to get with the offensive threat. First one being Zero. Zero from our Mono Fight type team has made a return. Yeah, so Zoro is going to fill in a very similar role to the Mono Fight team, apart from a bit different, where the Mono Fight type team was really lacking special attackers. The Mono Fairy team is really lacking physical attackers, so I've decided to make Zoro a nice physical attacker, very good for late game, with the nice standard set here of 252 attack, 4 special defense, 252 speed with a nice jolly nature, boosted energy to give us that boost in speed, which can really become very threatening late game. With the moves Sword Stance, Knock Off, Close Combat, Encore, with the Tail type being Steel to try take some Mega Range from Goldango. Very worried about that one against this team in general. So the reason why I've decided for this particular set is because it's very hard to switch into Dark and Fighting coverage. And Encore really provides us nice utility on mons that try set up with us with either Carmine, even potentially some Dragon Dancers, because we still have a boosted energy speed, so hopefully we'll be faster if they only set up once, and then we can Encore, go for our own setup, and then try to get the KO with a nice close combat or knockoff. That's going to be the idea of Zoro. So happy Zero is back in the team. Really did well in the Mono Fight type team. Cannot wait to see how Zero will perform on our Mono Fairy team. Let's get into our next member, being Summer the Anomalous. Now, Summer main role here is going to provide plenty of speed control and also to help deal with them steel types. With the nice standard Just Chloe Scarf set here, with a nice 252 special attack, 4 special defense, 252 speed, with a nice timid nature. Item being Chloe Scarf, so we can really outspeed our opponents. With the nice moveset here of Moonblast, Air Power, Mystical Fire, Healing Wish, and Teletype being Ground. So Summer here really helps deal with the Pokemon that either resist fairy types or even are super effective, with the combination of Air Power and Mystical Fire. Really does cover the ground very well. And Moonblast is just a nice stab move in general, and the Healing Wish, be able to get a member fully healed if they're a bit wore down. That could potentially be a nice late game sweep or a nice Pokemon that we still need really healthy. So I cannot wait to use Summer in general, cannot wait to see how Summer will perform. And let's get into our last member, being Dana the Gonfar. The reason why I chose Dana instead of Hatterene, I just really wanted a mon with a bit more speed that also can provide the same offensive pressure. Fairy and Psychic so good together offensively, because Psychic really does help KO them poison types in general. So we went for a nice choice specs set here with 252 special attack, 4 special defense, 252 speed, a nice Terminator being ability being trace as well, being able to potentially trace any maybe water, Voltosaur's mons, or anything like that, trading download potentially can be really beneficial. And we got the nice moveset here of Moonblast, Psyshock, Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, Tail-type being fairly, so we can really hit hard with our Moonblasts late game if that does come up with it. And with Amy's Thunder Wave as well, potentially Dana could also really outspeed someone. So that's what the aim for with Dane is going to be here. And the reason we chose Psyshock is, again, so we can hit a bit more on the physical side than the special side. So time to reveal the team's name. And as Fairy was made to counter Dragon, and Dragon team was called All for One, this one is called One for All. Cannot wait to see how this team performs tomorrow. I'm expecting some great things from this team, again just because how good the Fairy type is in general. Let me know who your favourite member is, and with all that said, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.